We're doing some Python programming, and in this particular one here, we're going to be talking about a Python variable known as, they're called list variables. They're called list. So let's just spell it out. List. They're list variables. Okay. So we're going to be going over a list. And what we're going to be doing is pretty much the same thing we did in the last a few other videos, except this time we're going to shorten that whole process of, remember we had the print statements like 5 times and the if statements 5 times, but we're gonna shorten that. All right. So in this particular one here, okay, so we're going to print out just like this. We're going to print out our data set. And then down here, we're going to print out the list. And so it's going to look just like this. 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 1, and 2. I believe that's all of them there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right. So we're going to print it out in a list. And when we do this, we're going to be able to do all kinds of stuff with this. So this is a really special container right here, and you can print out as many data points in here as you want. Now these particular entries are integers. You can actually even put strings in here with integers and booleans and actually all the different data types you could actually put in one single list. Okay. Alright, so once we do this, once we have put our data in a list right here, what we're going to do now is we're going to do 2 kinds of loops. Okay, we're going to do a loop inside of a loop, and that is the first thing we're going to do is start with the number 1. Okay, so that happens to be our first in numerical order. Or one of our data points. So we're going to start with 1, and we're going to go through and we're going to count. Okay, is there a 1 in this position? No. Is there a 1 in this position? No. In this position? No. In this position? Yes, there's a 1. So we want to sum up all of these 1s that are in here. So in this position there's a 1. Okay. In this position? No. In this position? Yes. And so then we take that, so that's the second 1, alright, and then we go in this position, no, and then what we do is, since the number 2 we do have now the number 2 stored in a variable, and then what we're going to do is we're going to have another list, okay, and in the first position right here we're going to put how many times 1 occurs, and then in the second position, okay, and then so now what we do is we loop all the way back through again, and we now say that we're looking for 2. Okay, so 2, yes, no, 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 yes, so 2 occurs twice here, and then we go to 3 and so on. So you see what we're doing here until we go all the way to 5. Right, so we're going to be taking 1 and looping through the list, and then going back and looking for 2, looping through the list, and then 3. So we've got 2 different kinds of loops. But the first thing we're going to do here is we're just going to show you how to print out the list. Alright, so we better get started here. Running out of time as usual. Alright. My window here, which I've already should have done. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to import the random module so we can get our random numbers. Okay, that'll be the first thing. And then of course we've got the input statement, going to ask us how many data types we want. Which data do we want? So how many data points, we'll just shorten it to that. I think it was a little longer last time. Okay, and we'll go all the way to the end here. So we're going to let c equal 0. It's going to be our counter. So we're going to create our container, our list container, and we're going to call it data. Okay. All right, and then we're going to go all the way to the back here. And so we have while, and so we have C. Whoops, how did that happen? While, so we have C is less than K. Okay, so K is the number of data points, and then we're going to have N. We got to get a random number. Random dot rand integer 1 to, we'll say 1 to 5 here. What the heck? And then C equals C plus 1, and then we're going to print off. We've got to turn that into a string now, so hopefully you've watched the last couple of videos so you'll know what we're doing. So all these videos pretty much just are going to kind of build, all these tutorials are going to build on each other. Alright, now we're going to use what this list method is. It's called append, and what that's going to do is every time we create a data point, it's going to stick it in that list container. It's going to stick it in this container, and it's actually starting at the end, so it'll be in the first position. Right, this append method. And then we're going to print, we're going to print out the data. So we're going to print out that list. This right here will print the list out. So let's just go through and run this thing so you can see. Great, invalid syntax. C equals 0. Okay, I don't need any problems here. Oh, I always forget this for some reason. I always forget that parentheses. Okay, so how many data points? We'll say 10. Okay, so once again, it's just picking random data between 1 and 5 inclusively. And as you can see here, right, now we took this data here and we stored it into a list, so you can see it's all in the same position. 5 here, 5, boy, 5 has occurred a lot, didn't they? And then 2, and then 3, 5, as you can see here, 1. Wow, 5 occurred a bunch, didn't it? And then 3, as you can see at the end. Now, of course, what we're going to do next is we're going to start with the number 1. Right, and we're going to go through and we're going to loop through this. Okay, so we're going to look in this position here. Is there a 1 here? No. A 1 here? No. 1 here? No. No, 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 no. Yes, there's a 1. So we count. How many times have we seen a 1? Well, 1 time. And then we continue through. And then what we're going to do is take that 1, okay, and put it into the first position in another list. And that particular list is going to be called the frequency. We'll call that the frequency container. Okay, the frequency container. And I think what we'll do here is we'll do that. Excuse me. We'll do that in the next in the next video there. Okay. Now there is another way of actually counting these. There's actually a built-in method. List has a built-in method to actually do that for us, and then we'll do that in the next video after that one. So this is going to be a part A, part B, and part C, and that's going to really shorten it. However, I want to use 2 while statements, a while statement inside of a while statement, so you get a better feel for the while statement. That's really the whole idea here. All right, so that's where we are, and I'll see you in part 2, tutorial 9, I believe.